What's up, y'all? Here we go. I think this is day three. Um, Lost the Celtics game yesterday. Basically two bets, but the way I look at it, and I try not to get too hung up on about it, is because it's pretty much the same team. And when you have two bets on the same team, if that team doesn't show up, you know what I'm saying, you could lose multiple bets in a row. So, what I do recommend when you're doing that is break the units up into half units or however many bets you have on that same team, you know, break it up to that it equals one full unit so that if that team just comes out and doesn't feel like playing, like I don't even think the Celtics were covering in terms of the full line. They only covered the last 2 minutes of the game. You know what I'm saying? They were pretty much in a dogfight until the last 2 minutes. So they had a 10-point lead in the first quarter. I think midway through the first quarter, and then Trey Young just went nuclear. So it is what it is, man. We're 2-3 on the season. We did get the baseball bet yesterday. Um, Today I do like baseball bet, and I like an NBA bet. I might have some others. If I do, I'll come back and post them. Um, but today we got the Warriors playing the Sacramento Kings. I don't have a bet on this game because I think all the motivation is on the Kings side. Uh, it, Me thinking the Warriors will win or cover is just me kind of going inside of what I think the Kings are thinking and what I think the Warriors are thinking, and that can be difficult to actually gauge because we're really not in those locker rooms. We don't know what they're talking about. So, just from a game perspective, of mental perspective, I do think the Kings are the Warriors broke the Kings. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've lost three in a row. Not only did you lose three in a row, but you lost on your home floor, which everybody thought was impossible the way the Warriors play on the road. So their spirit has to be broken, but these are athletes. These guys have been through a lot just to get to where they are. So for me, an average Joe, trying to go inside and think of what they're thinking just from a human element, it can be a lot difficult. So very difficult. So Warriors know they don't want to go back to Sacramento. You're increasing your chances are already decreased of winning another road game. I mean, you're a bad road team, so the odds favor the Sacramento Kings if they were to go back home. So I think the Warriors take this game seriously, but I'm going to lay off maybe a third quarter bet if the Warriors are down. But that's all I can say on that one. I do have a play in this next game, the Lakers versus the Grizzlies. Um, you know, the Grizzlies are still a team that I don't think has everything they need to beat this Laker team. And I said before the series started that Steven Adams and Clark are going to be huge. And even though the Grizzlies are out rebounding the Lakers up to this point, how bad would it have been, or how much worse would it have been if Steven Adams and Clark were there? So you got this Grizzlies team who's pretty much won two games, but only one of those games. Oops. Bee or something. It's like some kind of insect. Only one of those games has come with Ja Morant in the lineup. So I'm not so sure they can get this done. Both of the Lakers' home games that they've had so far, they've won, and they've had big leads in those games. So they've let the Memphis Grizzlies come back. I think they have to take this game seriously. Just like the Warriors, I don't think they want to go back to Memphis into that raucous crowd. And also, they're an older team, or at least their stars are older. They got to get some rest. I mean, granted, the Warriors can end the series today as well, and they'll be playing each other very soon, but you don't want to go in less rested than the Warriors. You want to take this opportunity and win this game and end it tonight so that at least there's no advantage for the Warriors on the rest side, because the Warriors are old too. So, and LeBron looks old. I get that he's still a great player. I'm not saying he's not, but if you go back to his 2010 self, this is a much slower version. He's powering through people to get to the basket instead of running by them. You know what I'm saying? He's not in the open floor looking like a gazelle and stuff like that. Like, those days are over. This is more of a power player. You know what I'm saying? So I think, and plus there's a bunch of chatter from the Memphis Grizzlies. I think I've heard like 3 or 4 people say, "Oh, we're coming back." These kind of guarantees very rarely work out when the players say it. When media and fans say it, it's whatever. Sometimes the chatter gets to the teams, but For the most part, when players make those guarantees, it doesn't always work out in their favor. Actually, more often than not, does it? You know what I'm saying? So I think the Lakers take this opportunity to close this one out, and I think they do build a big lead, and they don't lose it this time. So I think they're going on. They've had the best record since All-Star break. I don't see them losing two in a row here. LeBron had a bad game. I can see him rebounding figuratively and literally here. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis has already went on and said he'll play 48 minutes if he has to. I mean, this team understands the gravity of this game, and the line is more reasonable in this matchup than it is for the Warriors, where, you know, if a team is up 7 with 10 seconds to go, teams ain't fouling. You know what I'm saying? Like, Warriors can win this game by 7. You know what I'm saying? So, and you're caught with 7.5 or whatever. If you're down 10 or 15 seconds, if you're down 5 with 10 seconds left, you're still fouling. You know what I mean? Like, it's a chance the Lakers could win this game if it's a close game and still cover, even if it's a close game late. So I like the number here. If you want to buy down to 4, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to buying points, but most of the time when I pick these bets, they aren't close. It doesn't come down to a half point. It's not even within a point or two. So it's either they don't win or they win big. So if you want to buy the point, that's at your own risk. I like the 4.5. That's what I took last night. 5 also, if that's what you're getting. I'm not sure what your books are showing. So in baseball, I like the Cubs, and I'm still looking around. So like I said, I'm not a baseball capper. I'm not a baseball head. I saw numbers to me. And it's all about odds and probability when it comes to baseball. I don't pay attention to pitchers and bullpens or none of that. I don't even watch the sport half the time unless it's a big game or unless I'm at a game. So for me, it's more recreational, but I do profit. I stay above water in baseball just simply because the odds in any sport you bet, if you really understand odds, and what are odds? Odds are just the probability of something happening versus something else. If you can master that, you can be successful in a lot of sports. I would say my best sport is probably college basketball, and I know far more about the NBA than I do college, but I don't have any emotions tied to college. I don't have any emotions tied to baseball. So it's really all numbers. I don't get caught up in you know, who's my favorite player and things like that. So I like the Cubs today. There probably will be some more. I know I did some studying last night, but I only got halfway through the card before I shut it down. So for right now, the Cubs and baseball. So if I do get some more, I'll probably post it down below in the comments. So let me know what you guys like. I'm out here getting some natural vitamin D because I've been stuck in the house sick for like the last week. So I'm out here in Nevada. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't have to turn this camera around, but yeah, man. Have a great rest of your day, and talk to you guys tomorrow.